Indeed. Right, we come to that part of the show where, yes, in a few moments' time, we're going to be looking ahead to round number 18 of the Betfred Super League. It's on its way this weekend. Can't wait for it. I'm sure you can as well. This, of course, will become the prediction show. So as we do every single week, we're just going to have a little moment to recharge our glasses, and then we'll be right back to do the predictions for round number 18 and talk through them all. But here's a little word from our sponsor.
Love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
So here we go. We're about to go through the round 18 games. But before we do, just replying to some of the people for the team of the week. Peter Mason, a big Wigan Warriors fan. We know Pete is, but even he says Havard ridiculous to be in the game. Alex Sharp saying Duffy was unlucky. Spot on. He was unlucky. No doubt about it. He was the second best fullback this weekend, but it's hard to overlook Eckers. Like I say, 10 minutes prep, Alex. Absolutely sensational performance. Don't worry, Steph will be back. He's just gone to get himself another brew dog. Don't worry about that. He'll be on his way back in a moment. And whilst we're waiting for Steph, let's take a look at these little beauties. Round number 18. Oh, yes. The Giants will welcome the Salford Red Devils, who will, of course, be stinging from that nilling over in Perpignan. Then it's the Saints taking on the Warrington Wolves at the Totally Wicked. That should be fantastic as well. The Leopards go up against the Broncos. FC take on the Warriors. Then a really interesting encounter. The Leeds Rhinos entertaining the Hull KR. And then the final game of the round, the Casford Tigers will be entertaining the Dragons. Before we go into each individual game, let's catch up on the prediction lead. And as you can see, Gary Schofield has overtook Joel by just the one. Oh, yes, mate. And I'm catching as well. I'm just 3 points behind you, 2 behind you, 3 behind Schofield. Good week for Greg. He's extended slightly over Steph. And actually a good week for the Fans Forum as well. The Fans Forum, a little bit more like it. 18 points last week, the Fans Forum. Well done to them. There's no change in the Fantasy League either. Mark Allen continues to lead for the non-members and Ryan Birch continues to lead for the members. That's right. The membership is available, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan is playing for a season ticket for 2024 at the Huddersfield Giants. But they, like I say, you've got to be a member to get there, become a member. Again, in the chat, all the details you need. Make sure you check that out. Right then, gentlemen, let's see where the league is as we go into round number 18. And there you can see the Warriors a 4-point lead over the Wolves and the Robins with that all-important game in hand. The Saints have slipped to 4. The Dragons, a critical win for them against the Red Devils. They now go 22 apiece with Salford as the Rhinos stay in 7th, just 4 points behind. Then it's the Leopards on 13, not giving up hope. And then really the other 4 just pretty much now playing for places around them. I think the Tigers and the Giants could swap positions. They're playing for 9th and 10th respectively. And Hull FC playing for 11th and 12th with the Broncos is what we would say with regards to that. Right, let's go. We're going to start off with the game at the John Smiths Stadium. The Giants taking on the Salford Red Devils. Since 1998, it's 32-23 in the favour of the Salford Red Devils. The last 5 games, it's 4-1, also in favour of the Salford Red Devils. The Giants come into this with 4 defeats on the spin. Salford were in great form. Absolutely great form. They were flying, absolutely flying going to Perpignan. We expected better from Salford in that game. It didn't happen, of course. They were going in with a 4-game winning streak, but of course lost to Catalan. It's 9th against 6th. Very close in terms of the attacks. That's an interesting stat. Just 3 points separating them. 317 in attack for Salford, 314 for the Giants. The defence, as you would expect, based on league position, slightly better for the Salford Red Devils. It's 13-10 if you're a Huddersfield Giants fan, 4-6 on the Red Devils. Right, I'm not sure. I think that might be Joel again. Yes, it is. Well, all right, Joel, I'll bring you back in a moment. Right, this is a repeat of round 10 where Salford, of course, won 18-16 at the John Smith Stadium. And there was 2 tries that day by Nene McDonald. Will he play? No word on McDonald or Lafayette as we start this show tonight. One thing we do know is that Joe Bullock will more than likely make his debut this weekend. The last win for Huddersfield versus Salford was at the John Smiths in round 4 of the 2022 season, a 34-2 win. How much would Joel take that right now. Of course, Andre Savelio and Sam Hewitt are banned. Both picked up a 2-game ban. And Matty English, though, will return from loan with Casper Tigers. That is good news if you are a Huddersfield Giants fan. We like a bit of Matty English here on Super League Raw. Joel, I'm going to come to you last because, of course, it's your team. I'm going to start with Steph. Steph, with Red Devils against Huddersfield Giants. Can the Giants continue their improvement and get a win against the Salford side who failed to score against Catalan?
Potentially. I think Huddersfield played really well against Lee. It was like watching a different side under Luke Robinson. And obviously you're going to get that initial reaction from whenever a coach is parted ways. So whether they can continue that, I'd like to think they took a bit of confidence from it. And obviously Salford have having to go to Perpignan, they've had the travel, all that kind of thing. And also very, pretty, especially the first half, pretty disappointing performance from Salford, if I'm being absolutely brutally honest. But more so the fact that I've got to throw my Hail Marys now in terms of the prediction league. So, and also my love for Joel and Mr. Sir Greg Roach. I'm back in the Giants. I'm going 1-8. Come on, the Giants.
Oh, that's a big call, Greg. Do you share Steph's optimism over the Huddersfield Giants?
Yeah, you've got to be optimistic for the Giants. They've got a new coach. I think they've got a threadbare squad, as Joel will back me up on that one. They've lost Yates this week, which will be a body blow to them. And I think Salford 9-17 because they're going to be stinging from that. Sorry, Joel. Sorry, Greg. But usually when I predict a Giants defeat, they usually bring all the bacon. But no, I think Salford will be stinging. Yeah, I agree with what Steph says about the travel. Sometimes that can have a big effect. But I think Giants are going to really, really struggle between now and the end of the season. Injuries and whatever, losing the captain. So I'm going Salford 9-17.
Oh, okay. Joe, I'm going to come to you with regards to this one. Before you tell us about your thoughts of this game, other rumours have come out this week that maybe Nagama will be going back to Saints. I don't know how true that is, and that other departures could be imminent. Have you heard anything about that? Are any of those rumours true?
I don't know if you remember, but I did tell you privately quite a while back that was going to be happening. So
you heard it here first.
Yeah. It's quite likely, but nothing's confirmed.
Is that before the end of the season, Joel? Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Maybe not before the end of the season, just because he's not been playing. He's got a bit of an injury at the moment anyway, so it'd be a bit daft for him to go before the end of the season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you know what? End of the day, like I said to you, I'm now at the point where I was so impressed with how we played against Lee, and genuinely, I was not bothered about the result. I was bothered about the effort, and the effort was there far more than what I even wanted them to give. So, if players don't want to be at Huddersfield right now, that's fine. Get lost, in my opinion. Let's bring in these new lads that the club have said for a long time. We've got a very good academy, which we have, and we've got some good players coming through. Let's use them now. Let's give them some Super League time, and that might bode well for us for next season. So, yeah, with that in mind, I have changed my prediction last second, if that's all right.
Go for it.
So I'm going to go Salford 1-8.
Yeah.
And that is just because I totally forgot that Hewitt and Dre was out for 2 matches. I knew I just forgot, and I was rushing to send you the predictions today.
What were you predicting, Joel?
I did predict Giants 1-8, but that was with the proviso if Hewitt and Dre were playing, but they're not. And with Yates going, we're going to struggle to field a 13, let alone a 17 or a 21 this week. So I think we're going to put an effort in regardless of who's playing, but Salford are going to be too strong for us. They've got far more first teamers out than we have. We're going to really struggle for a first team this week.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. As brutal as a change of monarchy, you may as well start singing the national anthem now. The king is dead. Long live the king, as far as Joel's concerned. Get out of my club. It's almost like Barbara Windsor, Mark II. Anyway, let's get into the chat. Salford Red Devils, 9-17, says Craig Forth. Dawn Kirkby, Huddersfield, 9-17. Whoa, go on, Dawn. That's a big shout. Red Devils 1-8.
Very big shout.
Good evening to Robert, Super League Royal member. Good to have you, Rob. Red Devils 1-8. Alex Sharp, as a Leeds fan, I need Huddersfield. However, I think Salford 9-17. Mark Smith says Salford Walford. I've got Barbara Windsor on my mind. Salford 1-9. Let's all do the exercises. Dawn Baker Giants 1-4. Wayne Stacey Giants 1-8, and Salford 6-14. John
Carry
Costello.
on, Dave. Carry on.
Carry on. John Costello. John Costello saying Salford 6-14. You don't get this on any other podcast. We love rugby league. We love banter. That's why you come back every week for more. Right, let's go to the totally wicked stadium. Oh, look at the history. 58-16 in favour of Saints. Yeah, Warren fans, you're not misreading that. Ouch. And the last 5 games in Super League have gone the way of the Saints. However, Warrington come into this in better form with 3 wins from the last 5. Of course, on the bounce as well. 3 defeats in a row from Saints. When did you last see that? Imagine if it's 4 in a row. Wow, unheard of. 4th take on 2nd. Very close in the attacking ranks. A better defence for the Saints. Saints going 8-15, the bookies where the Saints concerned. 8-5. The Warrington Saints are on a 7-game winning streak in Super League against the Wire. That's really interesting, isn't it? But of course, last time out this season, Warrington, that convincing 31 points to 8 win in the Challenge Cup, gives this a little bit more spice, doesn't it? Because Saints will be wanting to get revenge for that. Saints, Makinson, probably a week too early. And back from suspension, that's a big plus for them. But still no Worms left, no Metautia, no Batchelor, no Knowles, no Hull, no Wingfield, no Whitley. So massive amount of players out. For the Wire, Luke Yates expected to make his debut in place of Geordie Crowther, who picked up a knock against Leeds. But I have to say, Geordie, if you're watching, great effort, mate. Played more as a prop than in that game, and he had some brutal carries against Leeds. You've got to give the lad credit. He's not the size of a prop, but he put a big effort in against Leeds, picked up a knock. Bless him. No other changes expected in the 21-man squad at this stage for the Warrington Wolves. Right, I'll come to Greg last this time. I'm going to start with you, Joel. Joel, Warrington going to the Saints. Can the Wire stop the winning streak that Saints are on in Super League?
Easy. Yeah. I can't remember what did I predict 9-17?
You predicted, my friend, 9-17 the Wire, yes.
Yeah. I don't think you can look at history at all at the moment between the two clubs and more so their results. With who they've got out and with your boasting of having Yates in this week, there's absolutely no doubt he's not playing. That he's playing, sorry. So he's going to be in. I don't for one second believe that Sam Burgess hasn't been talking to him for weeks, giving him game plan. So,
conspiracies.
Not spiteful at all. But yeah, I think that, especially in the forwards, you've just got far too much for Saints in this game, and as we know, that's where the game's won. So. I just don't see anything unless I was going to put 18 plus, but Saints at home is always a tough shout. So 9-17.
Wow. Alex Sharp saying Warrington 1-8, Welland's crying, Vedvi crying, Super League laughing. Clear, Mr. Sharp has no love for the Saints there. Steph, your thoughts on this one?
It's funny, Alex has just put in the chat that Kendall's refereeing, so he's changed his mind.
Oh, he is as well, isn't he?
He is. Kendall's ref.
Yeah.
Kendall ref. Guess who's video ref? Just guess who's video ref. I bet you can't.
Liam Moore?
Oh, yes. Chris Kendall referee. Liam Moore video ref. The dream team for Saints. The dream team.
Anyway, it's more conspiracies than Trump's assassination attempt going on here, isn't there? So anyway, I'm going to throw my second Hail Mary, and I think it is a Hail Mary, but I do think that Warrington's pack is going to dominate this. And as we always say on this show, forwards win games, backs decide how many. And I think Warrington's pack are going to, especially if Yates is playing, that could be massive. With the and to put that into context, though, Saints are suffering with their injuries in the forwards. If Warrington get a couple of tries ahead, I can see it turning a bit nasty at the time of wicked. I can see the fans getting maybe on the back a little bit, and it'd be very interesting to see if they put Dodd back in. I think that would be a mistake for St Helens. If I'm being honest, I think they should remain with Robertson. Is it Robertson, the young lad, and Wellesby 6. But I do think, based on the way Warrington performed in the Challenge Cup as well, that they well got a performance in them if they want it to do them 9-17.
Yeah, I mean, you talk there about, losses. I think a massive loss at the moment for Saints is Matauti. I think since Walmsley's gone out, Matauti has been colossal for him. He really, really has. And I think
Walmsley.
Well, Walmsley's Walmsley, but Matauti really has stepped up for him. He's a big loss. And like I say, Delaney for me, good in defence. Has he got the punching power? Probably have a man of the match display now. But that is a concern if I'm a Saints fan. Greg, your thoughts on this one?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I would love to say Wire, but Saints just don't lose 4 on the bounce. It doesn't happen. They had a despite the fact that they had a lot of injuries, they put up a real good performance against Wigan last week. And I'm really loath to say this, but I think Saints will win. And you're going to laugh at me. Thanks for getting it out so early, Seth.
I know what's going
on. Cheers. Just get off your chest. But I think I hope I'm wrong, and I will quite happily go down that leaderboard if I'm wrong. But I think Saints 9-17. They just don't lose 4 in a row, Saints. And Wayne Stacey's laughing at me, but there is the Kendall Moore factor, which
yeah.
serves me deeply.
Well, they're losing this week.
I'm going to go to the chat in a moment. Ray, forgive me. Gary Schofield went Salford 9-17. The fans form the same in the Huddersfield game. Just backtracking on that. In this one, he's gone the Wire 9-17. The fans form have gone Wire 1-8. And live in the chat, Port John, I'm going to come back to that at the end of the show. That can be the first question that we answer later. Don't put the questions in just yet, though. Wait until later, because that way I won't find them. John Costello, Wire 4-12. He's making up his own rules. He's putting his feet in 2 camps. You can't do that, John. That's cheating. Robert William Higson, Wire 1-8. Wayne Stacey, the same. Alex Sharp, the same. Dawn, the same. Mark Smith's going Greg. Saints 1-8. They need to bounce back. Fraser Howard, Wire 9-17. Dawn Baker, Wire 1-8. Craig Forth, Saints 1-8. Steve Cartlidge, hello Steve, first one for you. I think Saints will be up for it, and he's going Saints 1-8. So yeah, very, very interesting in the chat. There's no doubt about that. And Paul Webb's the same, blimey, blaming the rest before they even messed up. Well, it's just
just putting it out there just in case.
It's debate, Phil. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm going to go the Wire. I'm going to go the Wire 9-17 for the same reasons that Steph said. I think the punching power of the pack, Warrington should dominate that area of the field, and if they don't, but what I would say is we fought this a couple of years. It was like the last year, the year before, where we went to Saints and played a very understrength Saints, and Warrington lost. So I'm taking nothing for granted. Don't get me wrong, and we know that Saints can bring quality players in. There's no doubt about that. But Warrington, really, if they've got any chance at all of having a push for this grand final and beyond this season, they need to go to a depleted Saints team and win. If they can do what they did in the Cup, then they need to go and back it up this weekend. If they don't, For me, I think Sam will have to wait at least another year until he gets any silverware, because I think this is a big moment for Warrington.
Robert Higson's made a great point there in saying Saints to sack Wellings before the league game. I think we've been there, every single one that's been sacked. We've been the game after. So, just to think that could well happen.
It bodes well. Andy Bibby saying, "Give your head to wobble. He's never going to be sacked." Right, let's go to the Lee London game. This shouldn't take us too long. The Leopards. This is history since 2005. Of course, they've played each other in the second tier over the years. 11-2 since 2005. Lee. Lead London. The last 5 have all gone the way of Lee. As you can see there, the form, 5 losses on the spin from London. But like I say, they always give it a good go, don't they? As for the Lee Leopards, 2 wins in the last 5. It's 8 against 12. There's a gulf in defences. The attack, over 100 points there. But look at the defence. I mean, you're getting on for nearly 400 points difference there that London have conceded. The 1-25 on are the Lee Leopards. It's 10-1 if you are a London Broncos fan. Erini Pape out. Penne he's failed a HIA, I believe. Steph will confirm that, I'm sure, in a moment. Dwyer, doubtful. He's got a bit of a cold. Probably will play, though, if I was a betting man, if all he's got is a bit of a flu or a cold. And Charnley, 50-50. Might be a week too early for Josh, but that's good news. Josh should be returning in due course for the Lee Leopards. Right, we'll go to Steph last. Greg, will start with you this time, mate. On you go.
Lee by 18 plus. Too strong. London have they kind of have regrouped and they're putting some good performances, but I still think, despite players that are missing, I still think Lee will be far too strong, especially at home for London. I can't see anything but an 18 plus win for Lee.
Fair enough. Joe?
Yeah, it's 18 plus. I honestly, I think it's going to be 40 plus, to be honest with you. What I saw from Lee the other night was just outstanding. I understand the Pape is not out, he's not playing, Charnley's probably not going to be playing, but that doesn't really matter. The gulfing difference is just leagues apart. It's going to be a big win, this.
Fair enough. Steph, was all right with the injuries? Any change on what I said?
No, you're absolutely spot on. And interesting, Penne's was after the final whistle. He had a HIA, apparently. But yes, he won't be playing, which will be a big loss for us. I've been very impressed with him since he's come in. But in this game, I think if Lee have got any playoff credentials, they've got to put a score on London here. We're at home. We've got to build momentum. We've got Saints next. So those players need to really be up in the game now. And this is the warm up to St Helens, which is a massive, massive game for us next. Not taking anything for granted. If we don't turn up, we've seen what London can do. Alex Sharp will vouch for that at Headingley the other week. And I think more importantly for me on this one is Michael Eccles' homecoming. And I hope the Lee fans give him the respect he's earned this season. And I'm sure, well, I know for a fact he's having a night out in Lee because he's out with a lot of my mates on Friday night. So I hope he enjoys his return to Lee, but maybe not so much in the result. So I've gone Lee 18 plus.
I think Steph was giving us a bit of a clue with the tribute act is a bit of meatloaf. There's not going to be a dry eye in the house as Mike Eccles goes back to the LSV. Right, let's have a little look at where we're going. No surprises, everybody's gone 18 plus. I think the chat is going the same. Some are saying by 30. Who said by 30 there? Callum Calver's gone by 30, a big old win there. Andy Bibby's going London by 4. Hey, I'll have what you're having there, Andy lad. Good lad, get in there, son. What we got else there? There you go. Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much going the way of the Lee Leopards. Right, we now hot foot across to the MKM Stadium as the Wigan Warriors come to town to Ian Judson's Hull FC and Callum Calver's Hull FC. 49-14 since 2005 in favour of the Wigan Warriors. But look at that. The last 5 3-2, competitive, Hull FC. Wigan come into this in glorious form. It's got to be said, 5 wins on the spin. As for FC, they come in with 3 losses on the spin. 11 plays first. Attack, massive difference in class. 4-4-3 Wigan, 2-2-8. For Hull FC. Defence, 182 conceded for Wigan. That's superb defence, that is. 520 for Hull FC. It's 11-2 if you're a Hull FC fan. 1-9 on if you're a Wigan Warriors fan. Wigan come into this game on an 8-game winning streak. That's right, an 8-game winning streak. You can make that 9 if you include the Challenge Cup. They are flying at the Wigan Warriors. Hull FC have won the last 2 versus the Warriors, though, at the MKM. Yeah, I did say that. Whilst last year at the MKM, Hull FC beat the Warriors 14-10 in round 11. The return game, Wigan narrowly won 13-12 in round 22. So, bit of a bogey side maybe for Wigan, I don't know. Adam Kieran has had his ban overturned this evening, so he is good to go. Mike Cooper should return from HIA. No word on any additional problems at Hull FC unless Ian Judson can get in the chat if anybody is likely to miss this one. Joel, I'm going to kick off with you. Hull FC facing the Wigan Warriors. What are your thoughts? Where are you going?
Yeah, once again, I'm going to have to go with 18 plus. I don't see anything other than that, unfortunately. Hull have got a lot better, and they have been playing some far better rugby than they have at the beginning of the season. And probably the biggest factor to that has been SASA. But one man cannot win a game, so unfortunately, I think he's going to be a little bit overshadowed, not fully, but overshadowed by an incredibly quality Wigan side. Who aren't going to want to let up because they realise just how close Warrington are behind. And if Warrington are potentially Warrington are going to win at the weekend, Greg, then they don't want anyone hot on the heels, so they're going to be firing.
Well, if Warrington don't win, you're going to have to be on the final whistle on Sunday, mate, because there's a lot of people tuning to hear you have to say whatever you're going to say with regards to that. I mean, Greg, Wigan might rest a few here, and possibly rest a few in the forward positions. I'm thinking maybe because they can afford to do that. There was a bit of a doubt over Ensemble, a lot of chat.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd have picked up a knock, and it's got a bit quiet on that. So maybe Junior might miss out this week, but Wigan should do this, shouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, obviously, Ensemble's picked up an injury because I transferred him into my fantasy team this week. So yeah, 18 plus Wigan. They might rest a couple. I don't think they'll rest too many. I think they're too professional for that. But I think 18 plus Wigan all day long.
Yeah. And Steph, you go on the same route?
Yeah, I think it don't matter if Wigan rest players, does it? Because they just bring another absolute worldie from their academy, don't they? Yeah. So, which is sickening for the rest of us, but that's just the way it is. I'd be surprised if Matty Pete doesn't put a really strong side out, because that's just the way he does things. Yeah. Even if there is a few young lads in there, I still see him being too strong. But I've gone Wigan 18 plus. I wouldn't be surprised though if it was closer, because Hull FC have been playing quite well recently, and I think you've got to give Simon Griggs a lot of credit for what he's done. If it was the beginning of the season, this would have been 50 odd. We went there and put 50 when we weren't even that decent. So the job that Simon Griggs has done deserves a huge amount of raps, and that's probably one of the shining lights at Hull FC, is that they have had that reaction. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did give Wigan a bit more of a game than that. But I'm going with sanity and saying Wigan should put a score on Hull FC.
I thought Griggs was first class. I have to say, in his conference at the weekend, I thought he was very honest. Yeah, very, very forthright in his view.
He was very good at Halifax. He was a very good coach when he was at Halifax, and he fully deserves to be in Super League. If not as a head coach, as 100% as an assistant. and he does deserve a hell of a lot of credit because it could have gone really, really badly for Hull FC this season. And I think a lot of the reason why it hasn't is down to him. I don't know whether the FC fans agree with me on that, but from an outsider, we like to put the positive spin on things on this show, and all of the teams in the lower halves that were really, really struggling have seemed to have a bit of a bounce back, which is really encouraging to see. And the comp has been very competitive in this second third of the season.
Just to clarify what I think you're saying there, are you saying that Grix has been the difference between Hull not finishing bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, it's fair to say it's a diabolical season for Hull FC. But I mean, yeah, I agree. I think Grixie has come in. He's injected a little bit of passion back into the shirt. And I think if they do finish 11th, because I think that's as good as they can do, Castleford have been superb these last few weeks. And again, they're seemingly getting better and better. Yeah, I think Grixie could be the difference.
What I'm saying is in the second third of the season is that all the clubs that were struggling really, really badly have seen a response. And I think everybody at those clubs in the lower half of the division deserve massive credit for rebuilding and motivating those players that they've got to be, not having rolling over and having the bellies tickled.
Mate, it's great for the comp. Exactly. At the end of the day, people are, the strength of this competition is that they carry on doing exactly that. And I think rugby league's one of those sports you can't go on a field and play and be half-hearted. And to be fair, they're not. Everybody's going Wigan 18 plus. Bar Andy Bibby. I think we've got a Saints fan here. He's going Hull FC 1-8. Andy, that's a big shout, mate. That's a massive shout. Phil Webster, Wigan by 54 plus. I think that's a bit of a shout as well. Crippers 262. He's gone Warriors by 30. Hello to Crippers 262. First time I think we've seen you in the chat. John Costello's at it again. He's gone 9-28. Well done, John. Edgy bets. But there you go. But yeah, look, bottom line is, I think everybody's Nicola Burnwood's with us. Good evening, Nicola. We're hoping to see you tomorrow in the quiz. I hope you've been proper swatting up for the quiz tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It wouldn't be the same without you, my friend. Outstanding stuff. Right, no real surprises on this one. Everybody's gone Wigan 18 plus. Go feel the fans for him. The lot. Right now we come to, for me, possibly, I think Warrington Saints have got a lot about it. I think this could have a lot about it. First game in charge for Brad Arthur. Hull KR go to Headingley. This is going to be a good game, I think. I really do believe that. I think it will be a good game. 24-12 in favour of the Leeds Rhinos since 2007. But look at the last 5. 3-2. 3-2 to KR. It's fair to say 4 wins and 3 wins in the last 5 with KR, of course, the most there. Third now, KR. You've got to give them the due. They're really putting a shift in 2024. Doing very well. Leeds just outside the top 6, of course, 4 points behind. They need to be taking some scalps. It could start this weekend against KR. Attack-wise, no surprise for me. One of the best free-flowing teams in Super League this season. Our Hull KR, 421 points scored. Some more long-range ones at the weekend. 309 Leeds Rhinos. Defensively, 226 conceded for Hull KR, 316 the Rhinos. And I think that's the area where Brad Arthur is going to make a big, big difference for Leeds. It is in defence. 10-11 for both sides. They cannot split them in terms of this, which I think is really good for if you're a Leeds fan, because it shows that, we always say the bookies very seldom get it wrong. If they see it that close, fair play to you. At Headingley, Leeds have won 3 of the last 5, so it swings around. It's 3 in the last 5 at Headingley for Leeds. The last meeting, of course, was round 2 at Craven Park, a win for the Robins, 22 points to 12. For Leeds, no McCormack or Goodimon. James Donaldson and Harry Newman should return. And for Hull KR, Sam Luckley should return as Steph cracks open another one. Right, okie dokie, let's get into it. We'll start with you, Steph, as you take your first slurp. Leeds against Hull KR.
Yeah, I think this could be the game of the week for me, this one. I think with Leeds being at home, we'll see. But I think it's not a must win for Leeds. They are still, quite close to those playoff spots. And if they're being brutally honest, they'd probably say this is one that they'd earmarked to lose. But we'll see what happens. They've got the performance in them, as they've shown against us at Headingley. Let's see what happens. But if Hull KR are on the form, then they're going to win. It's as simple as that. They've got the better team. They've got the better squad. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leeds put a performance in here. That said, I have gone Hull KR 9-17. But like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit closer than that.
Fair enough. Mr. Nixon, over to you.
Unmute myself.
No, you are on. You are on, sir.
Yes. I wasn't. I am now. I think this is going to be quite possibly the game of the week, as Steph said. And I think this is 1-8 KR. And don't be surprised if it's a 1-pointer or even a golden point.
Wow. You heard it here first.
This is going to be close.
Whoa, hey, that's going to be entertaining. Joel, your thoughts, Leeds against the Robins?
Yeah, it's going to be a much closer affair. And I think having the new coaching is going to help. I still think Leeds are going to struggle to win. But that's just based off Greg. Come on.
Greg Roach has just said,
I know, I've seen it.
Now, Joel, have you got a narrow camera angle? That is comedy gold. Good evening, Mr. Roach. Carry on, Joel. Your fan club is watching.
Well, I'm not going to respond to him. I'll deal with him later.
Looking out for you, Greg.
So,
Carry on, Joel. Carry on.
He knows just to get me off my phone, doesn't he? Get me out my mojo.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway, Leeds are going to play better. That's for certain. But I think that KR are still going to win it, and that's just purely off the form, how they've been playing. You look how Elliot Minchella played. It's just a tough one to crack his KR, even when they come together.
Minchella Cam Smith is a great battle in this one.
Oh yeah, it's 2-13s going at it. And remember, Cam Smith was by far the best 13 last year, in my opinion. So, I'm sorry, Steph. He was. But
he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Oh, I think Steph. I mean, Steph's camera. I think Gassiatis picked him. But anyway,
well, it's just like Steph thought. Who was it scored at weekend? But clearly he didn't. Yeah.
Right.
So,
sensibility back to the podcasters.
Gonna change the field prediction.
Right. So, which way are you going, Joel? Just for clarity.
I did go KR. I can't remember if I went 1-8 or 9-17. It wasn't 18 plus.
You went 1-8, mate. You went 1-8.
Yeah, 1-8.
Right, okay. Gary Schofield's gone KR 9-17. The fans forum have gone KR 9-17. In the chat, Andy Bibby sees it leads by 4. The Mighty Robins 1-8, says Mark Smith. Pretty much everybody else is going the way of KR, it would appear. Not much love for the Leeds Rhinos, but this one's for you, Alex Shaw. What a game this is going to be at Headingley. It's one not to be missed, Alex. It's not to be missed. Two great loose forwards, as we've always said. Cam Smith going up against the mighty Elliot Minchella. Andy Ackers needs to perform. He needs to perform. He's not performed well all year. He's coming up against Jez Layton and Matty Parcell. Oh, it should be big. Mikola Gillespie will make the meters, but will he hold on to the ball? We'll need to tune in to find out. This is going to be simply superb, sir. Superb.
Lewis Croft. How good's that going to be?
So I've hyped it up. There you go. Hyped up just for you, Alex. It's all been hyped up. One not to be missed at Headingley. And I'm going KR 9-17. That's the way I see it as well. Right, let's get to the final game. Right, get your questions in the chat. We'll answer a couple of questions that you might have that you want us to debate for the last 5 or 10 minutes of the show, like we've started to do for you. So get your comments in the chat now, and we'll pick a few of those out as we now go to, again, what will be, I think, an interesting little game. The Catalan Dragons go to Castleford Tigers, 22-17 in favour of Catalan since 2007. The last 5 3-2. Both of these two teams come into this in decent form. Castleford 2 wins on the spin. One of them, of course, against the Saints, and 3 on the spin for the Catalan Dragons. 10 takes on 5th. 323 points the Dragons have scored. They've not been as potent as they have been in other seasons, it has to be said. 280 for the Castleford Tigers, but defensively, as you would expect, again, when you look at the league positions, Catalan have a better defence. 234 conceded this year to Castleford's 455. The Dragons are 49 on. Tigers 19-10. Of course, they last met the last 5 at the Jungle. It's 3-2 to Castleford. There's an interesting one for you. Of course, they met in round 5, where the Dragons won 40 points to 14 at the Stade Gilbert Brutesse. Right, okie dokie. Can Castleford do it again? They're in great form. They're doing what they need to go and do. This will be an incredible result if they could pull this one off as well. Joel, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts?
This is the one I've really struggled with this. Because Cass, you look at the numbers that you've shown on screen, and if we go week on week, you'll find that them attacking numbers will go up quite a bit for Cass, because they've been putting a much better showing, haven't they, this part of the season. I think Catalan have probably got enough in them to get a win over Cass, but I don't see it big. I'm going to go for 1-8.
To
the Dragons.
To the Dragons. Okay,
but Cass are going to put in a real good effort. It's going to be close.
You've seen it, Ty. Steph, where you seen it?
I'm throwing my third Hail Mary. I'm going Castleford. I think I've just got a funny feeling the way Castle are playing at the moment. Those young lads that they brought in have been doing exceptional for them. And let's face it, I need to go against you guys and start picking up some points on this prediction league. But I would go as far as say if Hull KR and Leeds isn't the game of the week, I think this potentially could be. Based on it being the fortress that is Weldon Road. I don't know if it's got a different name now there, but
the
jungle. Well, yeah, it's Weldon Road. I've just got a funny feeling that this is going to be an absolute belter. I don't know why, but I really do. I've gone Castleford 1-8.
Fair play. Greg, your thoughts?
Golden Point.
Which way?
Castleford 1-8.
Ooh, big shout.
Like Steph says,
That's massive.
Big
So you
shout.
just cancelled out me trying to catch you there.
Yeah.
No, I'd already said this afternoon. And Dave will prove that.
Yeah, it's all in. Yeah, you're right. Nobody's changed. Yeah, it's exactly as it was.
Can we?
Coming from 34, 36 degree heat to November.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
is cold. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. And that is going to be a huge advantage to Castleford. And I think it will be close because Catalan are a good side. They've got some good players. I think the elements are in Castleford's favour. Castleford, Catalan, too close to call. 1-8. And don't be surprised if this again is a drop goal or a golden point. And I'm going Cass 1-8.
Just a thingy, Reggie. It's going to be 25 degrees and sunny in Castleford on Friday.
Catalan plus 18.
Right. Gary Schofield's
Playing on Sunday though, aren't they?
Gary Schofield's gone 9-17 to the Catalan.
It's still 20 degrees and sunny.
Yeah,
it never gets 20 degrees and sunny in Castleford.
There you go. Right. Gary Schofield, Catalan 9-17. Fans Form have gone Cass 1-8. They've gone the same way. I'm going Catalan 9-17. I think that was a big result for McNamara's men last week. I really do think that. I think perhaps the departure of the 3 players has galvanised them a little bit. I think the pack is too strong. The fact that English has gone back to Huddersfield, that will impact them as well for this one, Castleford. So I'm going to go Catalan 9-17. In the chat, Phil Webster's going Cass 1-8, Dragons 8-17, Andy Bibby, John Costello saying Tigers by 2, Nicola Burtonwood, Dragons 1-8. Hard to play at Cast, says Dawn. Yeah, I agree. Kevin Worrell, Castleford 1-8. Andrew Robertson, hello Andy. Didn't see you sneak in, mate. Tigers 1-8. Yeah, all very, very interesting stuff indeed. Right.